Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media, and this hour of news and views is sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond. In a bit, we'll be going to our community segment. We'll be bringing you the voices and experiences of those on the ground. And today, we turn our attention to Lenasia, where illegal land invasions near Extension 9 have left residents deeply frustrated. Despite weeks of appeals and growing concerns, little to no action has been taken by authorities to address this escalating crisis. This issue highlights broader questions around governance, accountability, and the impact of unchecked land invasions on established communities. And joining us are going to be two local residents of Extension 9. This is Chief and also Ivy. And we'll be chatting about how this has disrupted their lives and that of the community as a whole. Chief and Ivy, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media. Really appreciate you giving us your time this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show.
You my point at your station.
No, I think the pleasure is all ours. Chief, let me start with you. If you can just paint a picture for us of how this illegal land invasion in Extension 9 has come to be and how it has directly affected you and your household and also the community at large.
Okay. Good morning to everyone, every listener. Well, the situation with the land grabbing, we've tried to reach out to the council, we've tried to reach out to the community as a whole to have a sit down and discuss this land invasion or land grabbing issue. The first challenge that we're having it starts at the very top, which is our councillor, who is not actually willing to come on board and listening to our grievances. The main concern regarding the land is that the council has not approved the land officially for people to reside on the land, as the land itself. It's got dolomite. It's a land with dolomite with possibility of potential of sinkholes, if I can say. Now, with that land with dolomites in it, we believe that the council should come on board and address all those people who want to do the land grabbing. And the second issue that we are having a concern as residents of Extension 9 and 10 is the issue of water and sanitation, inclusive of electricity. Because if those people are invading the land which has no services on it, it simply says the nearby or the neighboring communities are going to be affected by this. So, including that, the council or the councillor has not come on board to address such issues for us. And thirdly, which is the main concern, is we know that not being discriminative, but we know that everything that's got to do mostly with squatter camps comes along with crime. Currently, Tembelihle, which is part of Extension 9, is having challenges with crime. So if we do allow other people to come and erect another shacks within our vicinity, it simply tells us the crime level is going to rise, and that is going to harshly inconvenience us as the neighboring communities.
No, definitely. Ivy, let me come to you. How do you assess this situation? And how has it affected you? I've got word that there's even been threats on you guys' lives, just because you're calling for these land invasions to be taken out of your community because that land is not, it's not inhabitable. It's not designed, for people to come there and put up their structures and start staying there. How do you assess the situation? What can you tell us from your point of view?
Okay, thank you very much. My concern is because now most of the people living around here are pensioners. And I've been staying in this place for over 30 years now. And we've experienced crime and housebreaking and all that. But now it's gonna be worse since if they allow these people to build sheds close to our houses. And another thing, the value of our houses is gonna go down. And as pensioners, we cannot move. We spend lots of money paying bonds and doing everything to have a peaceful life. And we are peace-loving people. We don't like to fight with people, but now this is my concern is that we are not safe anymore. As old people, I'm so worried because now we don't know how are we going to solve this if the councillor doesn't come, if nobody is helping us. That's my concern, the safety and the burglary which is taking place around the hijacking of cars. If now as we go in and out our houses, they're all watching us. We don't feel safe. You understand?
Chief, I want to come back to you. Has there been that? Has there been threats on you guys' lives because you are calling for the removal of these settlements and illegal settlers there in your area?
Yes, there have been threats amongst us as residents. One incident that happened the past 3 weeks, the Red Ants and the JMPD, they came and removed the structures that were initially there. And immediately after that, the roads were barricaded and the stoning of cars then began. And what you find bizarre or confusing about this whole situation is that there were no adults involved in these acts. Small kids were sent to go and stone people's cars and blockade the roads. So that is one concern because seemingly the people will feel as if this is a racial thing. But to be quite honest, it's not racial. I'm black as we speak. Mrs. Ivy, she's black as we speak. So we are just one community with one concern that we don't need sheds to be erected. And what we discussed as a community was that us, including Tembelike, as informal dwellers, we should have sat down and fight for our government to at least assist them with proper water and sanitation. Because as we speak, Tembelike has been here for years, but they don't have proper water and sanitation. So if we do allow other people to come and invade the new spaces, so it means safe delivery for them and for us. It's going to take long for us to receive such services.
And I think you're making quite a very important point there. Ma'am Ivy, from your side, what would you like the government to do now? What steps would you like, for the authorities to take from now going forward?
If only they can just, let's say, if for peace sake, they give them sanitation, water, and then provide them with electricity, and maybe they can take half of the land and they leave our house, and we build something like a border so that we can have peace and they also have peace. And then Another problem that we have is the littering. You see, people come and litter in front of our houses. You can imagine how would you feel as you go out, you see the littering on your, when there's wind, all the papers, they come into your yard. It's going to be worse now. Now, if there's a border which divides the land, they can occupy the other side of the land, and our houses, we keep our places clean. That's what I would like to see the government doing.
Mm.
And
if they can, or if they can just move them to a place where it's illegal to build shacks, because this place is illegal. If the government takes them to a place where they can build their shacks, and then at a later stage, then they can build houses. Because now you can't build a house on a dolomite surface.
And you
and one yes, and one other point I wanted to raise, which the government can also assist, is that when you're driving around, we see children playing on dusty grounds without proper sports fields, and remember such disadvantages that come to our communities. It is what is leading our children to go into drugs, to go into alcohol abuse. So what I would love for the government to do is at least build a sports field or recreation center, so that at least there's improvement around our communities, unlike building more shacks without proper services. Let's go, because at the end of the day, Tembelihle as informal squatters, we as the residents of Extension 9 and Extension 10, we're going to feel the pinch if we allow other squatters to come through.
No, definitely. And I think that's where we close the conversation. Thank you so much to the both of you. And we're going to try to get hold of the relevant authorities to kind of give us more information regarding this and how they'll be assisting you guys, because you're raising some very, very potent, points there when it comes to, your safety and your general well-being, being disrupted. You wake up one day, just the land in front of you is now, filled with illegal invaders and illegal squatters. So very, very concerning. But thank you so much for giving us your time, and we'll try and follow the story as much as we can.
No, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That was Chief and Mom Ivy from Lenasia Extension 9, who are giving us insight on the illegal land invasion that has plagued, their neighborhood in the last few weeks. But as we close this conversation, I think it's clear that the issue of illegal land invasions is deeply complex. I think while the residents of Extension 9 rather are understandably frustrated by the disruption and the challenges to their community, we cannot ignore the fact and the reality faced by those who occupy this land. Okay? These are families and individuals who are desperately themselves seeking a place to call home, and often this endeavor is driven by a system that has failed to address their basic housing needs, and I think it's always important to keep that in mind, the fact that this is a stark reminder. These are shacks and land grabs that are popping out everywhere across South Africa. This is a stark reminder of the broader housing crisis in South Africa and the urgent need for our government to provide sustainable, equitable solutions for all. Both the invaded and the existing communities, both of them deserve to live with dignity, safety, and security. So thank you to those two residents of Lenasia Extension 9 for sharing their perspectives, and to all our listeners for tuning in. This has been the Thursday edition of News and Views. We can keep this dialogue going on our various social media pages, but we have come to the end of today's show. Thank you so so much to Puti, who's been behind the controls, doing a brilliant work, and also to Nasri Naidu, who produced and curated today's show. We'll see you again tomorrow on Friday. I'll be standing in for Inayat Wadi. But before I come to a close, just remember that today we'll be out in Soweto for the Hamza Shalan tour. You'll be making his way there for the Gauteng leg of the tour. It begins in Soweto, where the Palestinian journalist and photographer will be giving us a perspective of Gaza through his eyes. So if you're out in Soweto and all of the other close regions, be sure to make your way to the Soweto Mosque there and enjoy and get to understand a bit better what is Gaza and some of the challenges that the people there are facing. And this will be coming from someone that has been at the eye of the storm, someone that has experienced it firsthand, and was fortunately able to get out of Gaza. But we can't say the same for thousands and millions of others who are still there and are still surviving literally a genocide which is live streamed right in front of our eyes. So very, very interesting event tonight. It's going to start at 7 and it's going to take, I think, a few hours, around 2 hours, where Hamza will be showing us footage and pictures of some of the stories that he covered out in Gaza. So yeah, we'll be there. I'll be there. I think the rest of the team will be there, and it'll be a pleasure to meet you in Soweto. But for now, from myself, Salailo, and the rest of the team, we'll see you again tomorrow. Shap shap.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help. The people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people.
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Sha'alan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salam Media on social media pages for more on this tour and be part of